I'll wrap up this presentation with a few clinical cases, if I may. The first case is about a molar tooth. Mandibular. This mandibular molar has been retained well, as you can see, particularly mineralized. Upon opening the chamber, we gently extract. You can see the debris and the rise of small bubbles. Initial penetration with our image. 10, which will allow us to understand the initial constraints. Prosthetic constraints we will remove. Using the C1, once these upper constraints are removed, we will be able to explore the apical area of the canal with a fine line. In this case, it was necessary to use line number 6. Then we explore with a smooth rod and eliminate the host constraints of each of the canals with the SSQ. Each time it is essential to irrigate carefully. Once the host constraints have been removed and the shaping of the first third is done, line 8 can descend more easily and allow us to, very connected to the African American there, more work length. Here you can see the SCC shaping up the union third and the median third in each of the canals of this mill. Work length determination. You've heard the text locator with a line 10. It's validated with our operational X-ray pair. Then the SCC2 instrument allows us to reach the applicable construct and with stall support to perform the initial shaping.
Yeah, I'm geeking out.
In turn, the canals are prepared. It's from the center, not the center. Irrigation procedure, and we go back if necessary. We switch to the instrument, the fibered canal. In this case, there are 4 canals. Suspension of debris with these small up and down movements of line 8, allowing us to have even more effective irrigation to eliminate debris.
Call 911.
So you'll be able to finish your setup with the SU.
We go down center, then press with the counter, as you see here. You see the quality of the final cleaning with this instrument.
Shouldn't be 3 times as much.
At the same time, the engine disengaging with a bone is not far from disengaging, which is quite interesting. We press with the counter. The final cleaning of the USUS
Then it's
was specifically designed to clean effectively. That's why the impact is very long, unlike the SCC1, which has about the same measurements in terms of tip and taper. The SCC1's only goal is to remove constraints. That's why the impact is much shorter. We check our apical permeability, do the final rinse with EDTA, fit the meter codes. So 25 is enough in the mesial and distal. 30 is necessary. There you go. The fitting of the cone meters and the final sealing. Then putting the crown back in place.
Do you understand the question?
And you arrived. For case number 2, we have a second maxillary molar. Quite complex, some curves, a little bit long. Using the Revis allows for optimal cleaning, and as you can see, while maintaining minimally invasive concepts, we have a preparation that perfectly respects the canal anatomy, respects the curves too, and above all, allows for very optimal cleaning. Mandibular molar. Now, this first mandibular molar that requires endodontic treatment. You can see that it's also hard to perceive the canals in the mesial root. There's a junction of the pulp chamber and the pulp floor. It's a tooth that's particularly calcified, which will require removing constraints in the initial part of the mesial canals, relocating these canal entries there, using the SCM with platform support. And you can see the cleaning capability of this instrument is really crucial, which, coupled with irrigation, allowed for optimization.
Durations of a canal.
Which is quite rare in the median part of the mesial root. So an accessory canal going towards bifurcation. Sometimes you saw it. We can have simple cases. For these simple cases, like the second mandibular premolar, you can catheterize, make the initial penetration with the file number 15, and directly reach the apical constriction. In these cases, no need to fuss. We'll use the SC2 directly. So the second instrument in the sequence, we skip SC1 and move on to SC2, which has the yellow ring, and finish shaping with SC1. The red ring is what allows us to make a nice filling. You see here with an apical delta filling, it also has a very, very effective capability of cleaning the apical part. For this fifth case, a mandibular molar, where the canals are particularly well defined, but a bit complex in the apical area, here also with a filling and an apical delta in the
Small digital part.
which is quite interesting, and therefore
Demonstrates this good capability.
of cleaning while remaining minimally invasive in the upper and lower part of the canal. So a nice shaping,
and
which
flexible.
is thanks to this thermal treatment. For this first mandibular molar again, here too you can see there are strong mineralizations, so a necessity to use the SCM with support by spreading. You will have understood we come back to patterns I described to you, and with the apical branching that we observe in the distal part of the canal. For this last case, it seems to me a mandibular molar again, with heavy mineralizations, difficulties in viewing the canal path, especially the chamber in the upper part. So there's a need for canal relocation. And you see in the apical part of the mesial canal, the two canals that join together. These two canals that join are often a challenge to manage. And there's a risk of instrument breakage in this area, which is now perfectly managed thanks to thermal treatment that we have. Again, in the distal root, you see the small plume of cement in the distal area, which again shows the effectiveness of cleaning with this type of instrument. So thank you for your attention, and I wish you many clinical cases with the RIWIs. If you wish, I can send you as many references as you want. Here's a good part of them, and there are many more about the RIWES. I'm available if you need anything.